I ever do to you?
Hello, hello, hello. So I'm kind of doing something a little different. I'm going to do 2 moon mods because they kind of go together. This is Sky Above, a moon texture overhaul. And I've been using this for a little bit, and the moons look pretty cool. This was ported by Squeezy15. It was created by Wistorn, however you want to say that. This is about 8 megabytes, so it's not very big, but it's supposed to make your moons look pretty cool. Now, the one thing is, to get the effect they show in these screenshots, you need to also use the Megalophobia huge moons, also ported by Squeezy15 and created by Succuban. And it just makes your moons really big. Okay? Now, if you're going to use this mod, you need to make sure that you use some sort of high-def moon mod, like some sort of at least 1K moons, so that you get a good texture, so that it looks cool. If you don't do that and you just use like the vanilla moons, they may not look as good when they're blown up as big as this. So just something to let you know, make you aware of. Let me show you my load order where I put these moon mods, because it's pretty easy to do, but just want to be clear that you have all the information. I put the moon retexture here, and then I put the smaller, resize of the moons below, so that both would hopefully have the correct effect. So let's hop into the game and check this out. I normally don't do 2 mods at the same time, but I think this time it just makes sense. Alright, so we're here on Mike, our guy that looks kind of like the old Porthos. And you'll notice behind him the big moons. Let's go in for a first-person view here. Notice the big moon. Now that shows the retexture and the size of the moons at the same time. Now I really like this. Even if I wasn't using this moon retexture, I still like the idea of having the giant moons. But this retexture looks good, I would have to say. I think it's worth a look at like this, and I think that adds something to your game. Now you might prefer a different moon texture, but I like both these mods together. I might try a different moon texture in the future for fun, but yeah, this is pretty cool. This moon, the big moon, looks kind of like kind of Jupiter-like, with the bands and the different colorations going on there. And then the other moon, it looks more like our moon, kind of pockmarked with craters and stuff. But yeah, okay. So I admit this is a fairly simple show. We're just showing you the moons and the size of the moons. You'll notice how big they are. Especially the little one's a lot bigger, but the big one is really, really a lot bigger. I don't know how many times bigger, but that's bigger. So you want to make sure you use a good texture before you stretch it to that size, okay? And I would say that texture is good, but you might actually need a little more high def than even that for it to really look even better. But nonetheless, I think it looks cool in its own right. See that out there? Yeah, I think this is a good moon texture. However, this might be a better moon texture without being stretched. Hold on a moment. I'm going to pop in and out and show you the moons without the stretching. Alright, so this is the way the moons would normally look, and you'll notice the small moon is still the same size. So I really think the huge moons really only changes the big moon. The small moon stays the same. And you'll notice the big moon, it looks better when it's not stretched so large. So you probably really want a high def moon, because you'll notice that some of that did not look as good when it was stretched as it does now. So just something to be aware of. I normally don't do 2 mods at the same time like this, but I wanted you to see the difference. If you're looking at just this mod, though, for these moons, I think it looks great. It's got its own interesting look, which I enjoy, and I think anyone would enjoy if they like this type or style of moon. And then if you do stretch them like we showed you previously, if you do make the huge moon, then just be aware that you need a good high def moon mod, appearance mod to be able to withstand the stretching and still look good. Like this one still looked okay. It still looked okay. But could it looked better? Probably if it was a little more high def, it would have looked better. So just something to be aware of. Nonetheless, I like the idea of having the huge moon, so I'm going to try to find something that matches up and works to my aesthetic and use that in the future. I might even add that over to Jade's game since we're still in that testing phase, and I think I have space. So you might see me add that in and test that out over there. So anyway, that's these mods. Let me hop out and I'll show you these two mods again, and you'll see that I've turned this one mod off, but I only did it for the purposes of making the show and showing you the difference. Alright, so this has been the two mods we've been looking at. Primarily first, the Sky Above a Moon Texture Overhaul. Now it's a 1K overhaul. I think a lot of the 1K overhauls would be fine when you stretch them with this mod. However, it's going to vary somewhat from mod to mod, and it's going to depend subjectively on what you like. So I personally thought this mod was a good choice. I think I like the way the mod looks, the moon looks with this mod. And then when you stretch it and make it big, it makes for some big and interesting pictures. Some parts of the moon, this moon in particular, stretched, maybe didn't look the best, but it still looked good. Again, subjective. It's going to depend on what you like. But if you get a good, I would say for this huge moon mod, to really make it look nice, you're probably going to want 2K or above. Now, 1K still worked with this moon, and I'm going to try another one and see what I think. I may test this over in Jade's game and kind of give you an idea. But nonetheless, I'm probably going to try this out some more with maybe not these two mods, but with this mod. So while we've primarily focused on the Sky Above a Moon Texture Overhaul, we also did show the huge moon mod. Now the only thing is, this doesn't really, I couldn't tell that it made the small moon bigger. I could tell that it made the big moon bigger. Now, it says it does 2 times for Secunda, the small moon, so perhaps it did, and perhaps when I scaled them back, it didn't seem like as big a deal to me. So it probably did. I'm going to take their word for it. Master of the big moon will be 3.5 times as big, and then it says optionally 2 times for Secunda. So I'm not sure if they did the option or not. Oh, okay. Here we go. If you read further down, it pays to read the description. This is the master only. This is 3.5 times for the big moon, and the small moon does not change. It's 1 times. So the small moon does not change. This only increases the size of the big moon master. Okay? And they put 3, 5 times, but I think they meant 3.5 times. So, all right. Okay. So anyway, that's been the show on these 2 mods. Again, I normally don't do 2 mods together, but in this case, it made sense for me to do this. If that's, I don't think that's too complicated. I think you can easily understand what we're doing here. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. So I want to acknowledge these people who donate to the channel, who support the channel. They put their money where their mouth is, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you to these folks, and thank you to everyone for watching and supporting the channel. This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.
So long, farewell.